How to stand out as a yoga teacher. Learn the 3 keys to master the mind. How does this help you stand out? Well, because the whole science of yoga is based around learning to master your mind. The definition of yoga in the main text that people follow, the Patanjali Yoga Sutras 1.2, Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is Chitta, the field of awareness, the Vritti is the movement to the mind, Nirodha to master. Hi, I'm Mark, this is Yoga Coach, and it's a channel for yoga teachers that want to step up in their yoga teaching, that want to stand out in a saturated market, that want to transition their teaching from the studio to online, and actually want to be at the leading edge of how yoga moves into the future. This is really exciting for us. If it's exciting for you, click on the subscribe button, click on the bell, and you'll be notified every time there's a new video. So how do we master these movements to the mind, this monkey mind, this chattering mind, this busy mind, this mind that keeps us up at night? We're all aware of that, and we know it's the root cause of all the difficulties and suffering. So if you understand how to master the mind, you're going to really stand out as a yoga teacher, but not only that, as a person and as someone that is able to present a valuable offering out into the world. If you travel to India, and I've been to India many times, and you go to the ashrams, you go to the monasteries, you sit with the sadhus, it's all about learning to master your mind. And there's 3 real keys to be able to do that. And if you put those keys together, it's called Kriya Yoga. So what are the 3 keys? The first key is effort, and it's called tapas, and tapas can be burning enthusiasm. It could be ways to purify the nervous system. But what it is, it's the effort required to get to samadhi. What is samadhi? Samadhi is when you've brought your mind to stillness and you actually go beyond the mind. What's amazing about that is then you start unlocking your genius. You tap into a greater intelligence. And this is the goal of yoga. So you have to put effort in. What does effort mean? That you've got to do your practice each day. And not any practice. You've got to do one powerful practice. If you look at these yogis that spent many years doing their practice, it wasn't random different practices. It wasn't the latest trend, the latest gimmick. It was a practice designed by their teacher, by their teacher, by their teacher to transform your consciousness in the quickest, most efficient way. We also teach you these practices, one powerful practice, lineage based from my teacher to that teacher to that teacher to that teacher, all the way back. It's very important that it needs to be this one powerful practice. But you've got to put effort in. Even if you've got it, you've still got to sit on the mat every day. You've got to turn up and do it. Now, the second key is that when you do that practice, you'll start to develop your awareness. You'll start to see the places of limitation. You'll start to see the places where you play small, where you don't really show up. And as you do that, we need to be able to set aside what no longer serves us. Let it go, so that as we let it go, the beliefs, the patterns, the stories, eventually we're less convinced that they're actually true. And what happens then is we start to become more inclusive, right? Less exclusive, because our beliefs, our stories keep us separate. And this is the suffering. This is what yoga is trying to get us to do. Set aside what I've identified with so that I can become more inclusive. And the last key, that's the kicker. That's the tricky bit, because that's all about surrender. See, in the West, we're pretty good at effort. You know, we will work hard, we try hard. I was really good at that. I worked really hard. I did all the practice. I did all the asana. I spent hours every day, and I developed this awareness. And I studied the scriptures, the texts, and I built awareness out of that as well. And so I understood how I was getting in the way of myself. But then the key was I didn't know how to surrender and let go into the larger understanding, into the insights that I was receiving, into the inspiration that I was receiving. And I know a lot of you receive that, and it's like, you want me to do what? Like, I can't do that. That's too much. It's too big. And we resist the flow. And our mind keeps coming up with reasons why we can't have the result. And we make the reasons more powerful than the result. But truly, if you want to thrive in this world, if you want to do amazing things, if you want to be able to share incredible teachings, these 3 keys that add up to unlocking the big lock are super important. First of all, you need to put in effort, and you need to be doing one powerful practice, a practice that's going to transform your consciousness. Secondly, through that, as your awareness builds, understand it and start to set aside what no longer serves you. Then the last bit, as you open into new possibility, into a new understanding, and you get insights and you get inspiration, how do we surrender? How do we let go into that? Because that's what we call being a tantrika, life meeting life. And guess what? When you have no vrittis in the mind, when the mind becomes still, what's left? Now. And this is the gift of yoga. Are you willing to come into the now? And if you are, look out for our videos on how to do your one powerful practice, how to understand how to shape your insights, and the practices to help you surrender. See you on the next video. Remember to subscribe, comment and share. One-handed namaste. Shaka. Peace out.